Hey, I told you I was going to make this video. I was waiting to see if we would receive a digital booster at Walgreens today, since today is Saturday, last day typically. Now, as you can see, I'm looking at one of my accounts. We did not receive a digital booster. And I believe this is the second or third week in a row. Kind of, you can say that 60 by $60 of, I want to say, what is that? Digital booster, get $20 in cash rewards back. Spend $60 on holiday items. I don't consider that a digital booster. Sorry, it's early. I consider spend 25, get 7, spend 50, get 10, and so on and so on. That's what I consider a digital booster, one that we can pair with the paper booster. And then somebody posted yesterday the paper boosters have a different look. I'm wondering if with the different look comes a different program that those digital boosters are supposed to look like. I'm gonna look it up on Instagram really quick because it's right here on my page. This is Michelle's page. And as you can see, the digital boosters have a new look. And I'm wondering if it's new programming in there so we can't stack. The reason I say that is because I think the digital boosters are far and few between now. We're going to have to start paying attention to your shelves. Ask when you shop Walgreens, Walmart, wherever it is you shop, Target, and if you go there all the time and you're friends with, let's say, the managers, or the people who work there know you a lot. I'm gonna start asking Dollar General, Family Dollar, the size of their trucks, because it looks like it's coming back around, y'all. And I have other signs leading to that. But as you can see right here, Walgreens is cutting 267 corporate jobs. And it's at Deerfield headquarters. That's a suburb of Chicago, not far away, about 20 minutes from Chicago, the north side. But it said it's cutting 5% worldwide. They don't want to give us a number. It's easier to say 5% than to give us hundreds of thousands of people who are going to lose their jobs, because Walgreens has several headquarters everywhere. So 267 jobs at the Deerfield headquarters. We have another headquarters in Chicago in the post office, the old post office, above 290 as you come into downtown. Right now, they don't have the cash rewards to give us. With that being said, I just started noticing a few things. Now, I'm a Lyft driver, and I get a lot of pickups in the morning time. I mainly work in the morning time. I usually start early, and I used to get pickups to go to Amazon and the other warehouses. Amazon, from my understanding, there aren't the hours there that it used to be, which means people are cutting back on ordering, or the robotic technology is taking the jobs of the employees. Now, I'm guessing the people aren't shopping because they're pulling back their money. Groceries are through the roof. Let's just be honest. I can put half a basket of groceries in my cart and it is $100, not even half a basket. It just fills up the bottom part of the cart where you just can't see the little grady things. The grates, the whole squares, that is $100, y'all. And it's just two of us. Well, technically my son and his wife are here, but they shop for themselves. It's just me and my husband. And half the time, sometimes we don't even have meat in there. We are just buying vegetables and fruits, $100. Not to mention, when I'm in Chicago and I pick up the Amazon employees getting off work, they always hire. Let me get that straight. In Chicago, when you're in a big city, Amazon, FedEx, United States Postal Service, and UPS are always hiring because the young kids do not want to work. They don't know how to work, or they just work to get what they want and they quit. I'm not saying that all young people are like that, but it's got to be over 50%. They said it's an easier way to work, sitting at home, shaking your booties on Instagram, YouTube Shorts, whatever it is. They'll do it. They'll make money on the internet. I don't have no problem with that. I'm just stating a fact. They're not working at the Amazons, FedEx, UPS, or United States Postal Service. And even though you don't work at the United States Postal Service, I can clearly understand because the Postal Service is brutal. Now, Amazon, I picked up a young lady yesterday, and I asked, are they cutting hours? And she said, yes. She's brand new, but she says the hour after they start working, they scream the whole day. Who wants to go home? Who wants to go home? You can leave, you can leave. She said 1 hour after we start. So it makes no sense that they hired people unless they're going to get rid of some of the old people that they hired or just to stock up on people for Black Friday. And then after Black Friday, they're going to let you go because no one's going to shop. Not like we used to shop. Let's just be point blank. Have you looked at the TV? I haven't seen any hiring things on the news or any place else for Amazon, FedEx, or the UPS. UPS they're usually hiring big time for their drivers and someone to throw the packages, and then the driver doesn't have to move and he can just keep going. I haven't seen that. I've picked up at the FedEx near Midway Airport. This is just what's going on in my area. And if it's going on in my area, I know it's going on in other places. They are working 2 hours. They are scheduling them 2 hours so that they can keep them. If it's busy, I'll let them go. The guy I picked up at FedEx, I asked, do you have freight? He said, no, we really don't have freight. Not enough. And he said, they won't even schedule me more than 2 hours. If I want extra hours, I would have to pick up someone else's shift that called off. That's if they let me. Now, I've also picked up people who work full time at the FedEx. And they said right now, they're just working their shift. There's no overtime. And there's usually tons of overtime at this time of the year. This is holiday season. Let's just chalk it up. People usually shop big time. But what I'm seeing in the stores, that they're already offering, Black Friday deals. I'm on the Home Shopping Channel. I bought me a set of pots for, I think, $60. Was it $60? And I forgot his name, who it was. He's some big chef. And the pots seemed really nice. And it had to be at least 10 of the pots for $60. But getting back to my point, I also noticed when I drive, and I don't like to drive on the south side of Chicago because all of the train tracks are over there. You know, we don't get paid for time. We get paid for the pickups. So if you get stopped by a train, you're kind of messed up. They pay us, I want to say 10 cents a minute for waiting. It isn't much. It might even be 15, but 10, 15 cents a minute for waiting is just garbage. So we're just messed up if we get stopped by a train. But I got stopped by a train and I was like, dag. I was trying to get around the train. Sometimes you can just go a mile down the road and go under a viaduct. But there was something in the middle of the road, so I couldn't go over that particular part of the road. I had to sit there. I thought the train was going to be really long because it was in the afternoon. They can be 20, 30 minutes in the afternoon. No traffic, no rush hour. The train was a freight train. They were double stacked for about 10 cars. And then the last cars, there was nothing on the train. And I said, okay, maybe that was a fluke. Why would they drive with half an empty train? On my way home a couple of days ago from driving, got stopped by a chemical train where they have all the chemicals. Half full. At the end of that train, all empty cars. I don't know what's up with them carrying empty cars. I think it may have something to do with the weight distribution, but either way, that's just wasted to me. But I don't know how they do things at the railroad. My husband said it is possible that they could have dropped off at another facility and then just finished off. I said, I don't think so. Yesterday, I got somebody going to the yard on 103rd, across from the CTA bus station, for those of you that live in Chicago that know what I'm talking about. It's empty. If you start looking at your rail yards, they are not full. I can tell the difference between the empty freight containers because they're all on one side of the yard. When you drive around to the part where the trucks are going in, if you can see in, they're empty. All I see is the trains that are there offloading the freight trucks or the freight cars. I see one train or maybe two that pulled in and they're unloading. That's not a lot. Y'all know that those freight yards are packed sometimes. I don't even see a backup on the trucks. I do know on one street, I don't know where it's at. It's a crossroad in Chicago, like 79th, 87th. There's a Burger King there, but there's usually, it's a train yard, and then right across the street, there's warehouses. But the trucks are so numerous that they back up the road and you can't get in and out. The trucks have not been backing up the road there, because I usually dread going past that particular intersection because the trucks block it. Whether they're making their left-hand turns or their right-hand turns, they just block the whole intersection. And you kind of have to cut through the parking lots of Burger King and this other place. But anyway, it hasn't been a backup, and there's not a lot of trucks coming out of the rail yard. I went past the rail yard in Dalton, right off 147th, for those of you that know what I'm talking about. It's empty. I had somebody in my car, and I was talking about it, and they said they couldn't believe it. It's usually stacked with cars. All you see is the empty trailers that the truck drivers have and that they put the freight cars on when they're taking them to the stores. Because technically right now, all of the stores have their Christmas freight. I've been noticing a change when July and August, I was on TikTok. A couple of the truck drivers said that they had gotten laid off. Then a couple of weeks ago, warehouse workers on TikTok, they got fired. One Amazon warehouse let go all of their employees and went robotic for the fulfillment part, or pickers, I can say. People were boohooing and crying and all this other stuff. And then I had someone else go on. I seen another post where a forklift driver said, be careful out there. Start looking for another job if you are in a warehouse situation. He said his warehouse was firing 2 to 5 people a day, a lot of people in a week. They just don't have the freight. I'm going to have to start paying attention to, I'm going to go into Walgreens. I think they get their truck today, but you know, every holiday it gets pushed back. So Veterans Day was a holiday, so I'm not sure. I think they'll get their truck Monday. I'm gonna have to ask them if it was half full, or 3/4 full, or a full truck. And then I need to know how many pieces, because sometimes they just get the gray bins to put stuff on the shelf, which means they're not getting boxes. They're splitting the boxes amongst the stores. I'm gonna have to ask, once again, Dollar General and everything else, start paying attention. Start paying attention to the grocery stores. I pick up the Walmart workers. I pick up the food for less people, grocery store workers, Jewel's, Osco in the Chicago area. They said their shelves are not full. When they go in there, they have to substitute a lot of items because there are no items. But I'm in Illinois also, not that far from Chicago. I'm gonna say I'm about an hour out, 45 minutes, an hour, depending on traffic. My area, because I live in a mostly white area. I'm stocked. Chicago, depending on where the area is, there are black areas, Hispanic areas. It's very segregated. Latino areas, the white areas up north. Although now, because of prices, the rising cost of rent and everything else, there are white people scattered in the black areas. Everybody's kind of mixing now because they're going to the cheaper rent areas. And there are white areas and places you just would not believe. So I do know the cost of inflation is driving people to look for cheaper residences. But with that being said, it's time to look out, because I'm saying I think something's going to happen either after Thanksgiving or before Christmas. I think they're trying to give us one more good holiday, and then it's a wrap, folks. Just keep an eye out. I know how things go because this is what happened previous pandemic. Not saying we're getting a pandemic. I'm saying it's gonna be it, because everybody knows about BRICS. If you don't, you need to look it up. I thought they postponed their, when they start. They were supposed to start November 1st. So I was looking for news on them. I seen no news on BRICS. But then I seen a post last night, and I've been trying to search, which means they've cut off news on TikTok, where people, they cut off communications rather. They're not letting much stuff get through unless you know specific people who talk about it. And I do. I have a couple. I looked them up. One guy said BRICS is a go. They've started trading. They've been trading for a little while, which means the countries that said they're no longer exporting to us have started that non-exportation, because we are a country of importation. We make nothing for ourselves. We sent tons of jobs to China and all over the world because of cheap labor, and look what it's gotten us. They've taken our plants, our ideas, and everything. It's nothing much you can say. You're in their country. Even though you are a United States business, they can do whatever they want to. They take your ideas, they take how you make stuff, they start making it themselves and tell you you got to get out. I've seen it. I've seen it in China. I've been covering a lot of the China stuff. I've been posting stuff on my Instagram, and people tell me they're going to unfollow. Bye. I'm trying to get y'all to wake up and see what's coming, because a lot of people are finna get slapped in the face. I'm not getting slapped in the face. I may not be able to stop anything. I may not be able to do anything about it, but I'm not going to be surprised when it comes. And at least I can say I have food. We coupon, so we have stuff. Yeah, I'm going to be as well off as I can be. That'll hold me over for a little while until something else pops up, or they make us leave our residences, whatever it is. I'm going to be ready. But the thing is, y'all have to wake up and see what's coming right before your eyes. I can realize it because the people that I used to take to work, they're either no longer working or their hours have been cut so bad they can't afford to take me. So I notice it because it hits my pocket first. Then you'll notice it in the stores, but they've been a trickle-down effect. Let's say drivers got laid off in June or July. Then next you have the warehouse workers, even the United States Postal Service. I take people to work there too. Took a young man there the other day, and I asked, are you guys still delivering Amazon packages? Because remember, the postal services were delivering Amazon packages on the Saturday, Sunday, on the weekends. They're no longer delivering them. They're just delivering the mail, and they have very few overtime hours. Even though they're hiring, once again, they're hiring for the turnover of employees, not because they have so much work. And of course, the Postal Service is very strict. You must work 90 days without a call off. And these days, people not working 90 days without calling off. So of course, they're fired. And let's admit, you got to work in the winter in Illinois or near Chicago, freezing cold, the mail never stops. It could be an ice storm, the mail never stops. They get robbed, everything else happens up here. So it's hard to keep people up here working in the Postal Service. But with that being said, keep your eyes open. The fact that we're not getting digital boosters like we used to, that's just one telltale sign. Start paying attention to the other stores. The value of the coupons. Are the coupons any good, or are we getting garbage coupons? You need to start paying attention to all of that. It will determine this. I'm not gonna say determine. This will be a domino effect for a lot of stuff. So you just have to start paying attention to a lot of stuff out there. This is what I'm noticing in my area. My area may be different from yours. Yours may not be affected yet, but because of the amount of people that live in the Chicago area, I notice it because of the jobs, because of the layoffs, the cut hours getting cut. I can see no freight, the way the trains are rolling. I'm noticing a difference. But that's my view on what's happening or what's getting ready to happen or the beginning of things going down. That's just my take. Let me know what you think in the comments below.